Hello there, this is Eric Miskell on the show at Electronica 2024 in Munich. I'm with Kaitlyn from CalcuQuote. We
Yes.
just ran into each other. Thanks
Yes.
for coming over.
Thanks for having me.
Having fun this week?
Having so much fun. A little exhausted, but changing shoes every day, so feeling a bit better.
I actually wore tennies today.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
right.
It's a good thing it's a trend now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Listen, why don't we start by letting you just give an overview of CalcuQuote. Of course, it's expanded from what it initially did. So.
And lots of changes this year. So CalcuQuote is a supply chain solutions company. We really cover everything from the time that a customer is curious about what their bill of material cost looks like to the time that you can place actual purchase orders with your vendors. So 2014 about is when CalcuQuote started, and we were a quoting software at that time. We've now transitioned into not only a quoting software, but also into a purchasing software and other supply chain solutions that we see our needs for customers. And this year we've had a really exciting transition. So I've started to take over Europe and Asia, as well as North America, and we have a new CEO, David Sharp, which we're excited about, and he brings amazing industry knowledge with him, so it's going to be really exciting next few years.
And of course, David's been there for a while.
He has,
so he's not new,
No, he's not new, so he knows the product well. He was VP of product for many years and has a ton of experience in the EMS space, which is really great for us because that's a huge importance for us, is making sure that we understand our customer needs. Everybody can come in and build software. Software is, we all know we need software, but building it specifically alongside customers for their needs and growing with them is really huge for us.
And it's amazing. I just did a tour and I talked to companies and I asked about this too. Several of them still do. Well, we have our own internal software people, and we're doing it, but we have to consider maybe not doing this because then we have to keep the maintenance up and everything.
Exactly.
So,
and I think it's meeting customers where they are a bit, right? There's always the best practices that we believe are what the industry standard should be, but it's not always practical, and sometimes we just have to accept that, especially as we go into new regions. So what we're finding definitely this year is, yes, there's some transition within businesses where different people are aging out and newer people are coming in, which means newer technology. But also there's people who have built and spent money building things where we said, okay, well, how do we bridge the gap and make it not so difficult to just throw something away that you've done for years, but bridge it and make it easier for yourself and your team.
Exactly right. And there are other solutions, obviously. People do this in a lot of ways.
They do,
How do you kind of differentiate it?
So there's a couple things. I'll say my team is a huge differentiator. I think we bring people in from the electronics industry where when you have a company, we actually just had a new customer come to us and they were like, we're really excited because we see us growing with you because we have the industry knowledge, the electronics knowledge. I know what it means to put on an ESD strap and walk on the production floor, right? I can tell you how small an 0402 component is and what the importance of that packaging size is. So that industry knowledge is really, really important for us, and it's important that we put that into the application and make sure that the software can speak to it. So that's going to be a continuously huge thing, and partnering with the people in the industry is another really big thing for us, right? At the end of the day, it's a relationship industry. We all, right? That's why we're here. It's why we're at Electronica. It's why, we're having a conversation. So that's going to continue to be important.
It's on the hardware side. It's not software. I hear the same thing about the people business, right? Everybody's talking about automation. Automate on it. At the end of the day, though, it's people who are doing that. It's the relations. And when things get tougher and business is down, it's those close relationships that you have to maintain.
You have to, and it's been crazy few years in this industry, and next year is probably going to be no different of a crazy year because that's what it is.
So are your crystal balls telling us?
Oh, well, I think it's going to be kind of a crazy year. We get to hear lots of different things from different EMS contract manufacturers as well as OEMs that are like, we don't really know what Q1 is going to look like. It was an unexpected October, so who knows what the next months are going to look like. And unfortunately, because of, I think ever since, maybe the tariffs and then COVID, and we don't really know what's going to happen. And as you know, lots of changes in the U.S. coming, and so there's going to be even more things that are unexpected. And I think that's why it's so important to make sure your business is set up to work in any type of market that's going on today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. From a kind of a trending outlook perspective, other than that, what else are you seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of people wanting to focus on growing their team's knowledge and really pushing team's knowledge because of that aging out aspect has been a really critical thing. And with that means bringing in new software as well, of course. But how do you make sure that people not only know how to use software, but they know how to understand it for the industry? So I know the IPC, you know, we've heard from our customers are doing amazing things on education and getting the education there. And, you know, I would even like to see some education around supply chain specifically for this industry. I think is going to be really, really needed coming, because I could tell you for sure 10 years ago, I had no idea what I was coming into with electronics. Who knew that I was going to be working with customers building circuit boards? But here we are, and it's such a needed thing that we're going to need to, you know, make sure is continued. So.
You know, it's interesting. When I talked to the EMS this last week as we're touring around, you know, we asked the same thing. What's your first, what are you seeing, right? And people say, listen, it's not first quarter. It'd be in my demand planning right now if it was.
They would know.
I'm not seeing it, so it's not. So
H2, maybe a better outlook next year.
H2, and maybe, you know, when's it going to start hitting? And so I think there's optimism out there. Everybody's ready.
Everyone's ready. Yeah.
We're just waiting for that. And then this industry, I think, is primed to react.
Absolutely. And I think we've spent the last couple years, given COVID and everything, priming ourselves to be able to react when things happen, because we weren't prepared a few years ago. And so it's such an important thing. And given the stock changes that's going on, everybody has more stock. So now it's moving into more of a price discussion, which, you know, causes some concerns for people. So they just have to be prepared to know how to really be communicative to their customers and share expectations. Because I think at the end of the day, the transparency is so important.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a differentiator for sure.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking time with us here.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
it's
it.
a joy. And,
Yes.
Check out CalcuQuote.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yes, if that's in your on your agenda, give them a consideration, please.
Awesome. Thank
Kaitlyn,
you.
enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.